Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Luzze Andrew Anderson is my name, and of course, I'm not going to be wasting much of your time. Well, why am I here? Why we are broke even when we try? Why we are broke even when we try? It is something that I always kept, thinking about, and I'm like, why are we really broke even when we try our level best? Well, after some time, in isolation, then I came up and I notice why we are broke even when we try. And of course, each time I come with a problem, then I got a solution. Just watch from the beginning to the end. It's not long, it is short. Only 8 minutes. Well, this is the thing. We are in a community and society whereby we are surviving. We are surviving. And because we are surviving, whatever we do to survive for today, to live for today, to survive for today. So basically, we get a job because we have to eat food today. Yeah, we do all kind of work, labor, because we have to survive for today. We want to survive for today. Yeah, we want today's meal. We want this month's rent. We want to pay bills of this month. So at the end of the day, whatever we do, we want to survive for today and not basically for tomorrow. You get the point? Not because we cannot do work to survive for tomorrow, but it's because we have to survive for today. We have to have shelter for today. Now, this is what happens. You get a job, yeah? And because they are paying you, let me say they are paying you 50,000, yeah? They are paying you 50,000. And because you have bills that are like 4,000 to pay a month, then you'll be okay, because you have to pay the bills. You have to pay for water bills, electricity bills, rent. So you are okay. You can settle for less. You can settle for 50 because you're going to pay the bills using the 40, and you survive. You survive. You get the meal for today. You get transportation for today. So, but remember, deep down in your head, deep down, you know what you can do, and you can live for tomorrow. You can live for tomorrow. You're surviving for today, but you know basically exactly what you're supposed to do to live for tomorrow. But the problem is, if you do that, which you well know, if you do it, you will be fine in 2 or 3 years. But the problem is, if you do that work, whereby it will help you live or survive for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, the problem is, in case you do it, then you're not going to be able to pay bills for today. You get the point? So now this is it. I think you're getting my point. You're settling for 50k to pay bills of a month of 40k, but you cannot let go because you have to pay the bills for this month. So you settle for less. But when you well know what you can do, let's say someone comes up and there's a construction going on, and then they want builders, they want constructors. You can go, because you need a gig. You need to get that money today. But again, you well know, in case you went back in the village and you did farming for 3 years, you can survive for the next 5, 10 years. But the problem is, in case you go do that farming, you're not going to be earning this. You're not going to be able to earn those daily bills payment. You get my point? It's a little bit tricky. So we end up settling for less. That's why the people in the first world, they don't mind so much of today, because much of it is provided for. You find a kid, they have shelter, they have everything. So they have time to think. They have time to think of that idea that in case it is well developed, it's going to help them survive for eternity. So now that's the main reason why we keep broke. I think you're getting my point, yeah? You're getting my point. So it's like this. Like, let me give an example that all of you will love. It's like if you're broke and a girl comes through, yeah? You're broke, but now a girl comes through. You don't like her, but because you're broke, Basically, that's what you can afford. So before you know it, you pum pum fire with her, and then she's pregnant. But remember, you're broke. But that's what you could afford at that time. And now, when you're okay, and finances are doing fine, then you go back and look for what your test. You go for your tests. But when you had already made a mistake, you have kids, you have another wife somewhere, you have a lady having your kids, but because we were not patient. So that's the main reason why we are broke. Because at the end of the day, we all go to work because we want to get, you have to pay rent, man. We have to eat food. We have to pay school fees for kids. We have to pay tuition. So at the end of the day, we'll settle for less because, we need that money now. But we well know what we can do. We well know what we can do, and it can clear our future. But the problem is it won't be able to pay the bills today. You get the point? So that's the main reason why we are broke. That's the main reason why we are broke. And what is it that we can do about it? Now, this is it. If we can get people to jump starters. Let me say you have parents who are good, and you have this idea. Be like, you know what, support me for a while, support me for a year, support me for 4 years. This idea I'm coming up with, if it goes well, we are clean forever. But now in Africa, that's the problem we have. That's the problem. We don't have a support system. We don't have a support system. So at the end of the day, we end up broke because we are surviving for today. Even some girls get married unknowingly. Like in COVID, their kids I call the COVID kids. Yeah. Because now this girl could not survive, she could not get food, she could not pay rent. And then there's a guy maybe who could pay rent, he could afford his rent, afford buying food. So before you know it, this girl goes to his place because she wants to survive for today and ends up pregnant and ends up with this man unknowingly. Those are COVID kids. I think you're getting my point. It's just like when you have high, leave it out, yeah? Someone just say very fast. Now because you want it there and then quickie, a first one, before you know it, in that quickie, it is affecting the rest of your life. But if you're patient, and you're like, let me be patient, let me starve, yeah? Let me starve, eventually it will work out. So if you can, sit, think about it carefully. I still remain Luzze Andrew Anderson. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. If you think it was a good video, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification button so that each time I put up a video, you're among the first people to be watching. What was the title? The title was, let's watch it again, Why We Are Broke Even When We Try. Bless